Hey, it's AuntieLan. Um, I posted a few days ago, but it feels like a few weeks ago. And maybe that's because I have questions waiting to be answered. And there's a little bit of pressure about whether people are like needing or expecting immediacy. So I really have to figure that out. But right now, here we are. And I have a new letter from Val. And I'll also post the letter in below where that stuff happens, where you can put words. I think I'm gonna start doing that. It's a little bit long, not super long, but you might want to refer to it, and so it'll be there for you. So Val says, "Dear Auntie Lan, I'm married and have been married for over 10 years. And although my husband and I have our challenges, I would say we're happily married. I'm friends with some of my exes, and my husband is okay with that. But one of my exes I still have feelings for. When I'm going through things, he is the one I want to reach out to, and he is the one I know I can count on to be a friend. But he is married too, so I don't reach out usually. But I did most recently about some problems I'm having in my marriage. He listened and gave advice and comfort as he has done in the past. But now I'm dealing with these feelings that have come back while I'm in the midst of working through some challenges in my own marriage. I feel angry with him for not choosing me and jealous that his marriage never seems to have challenges. I can't help but wonder if things had been different. Could we have worked? What is wrong with me? I love my husband, but I feel very conflicted in my feelings towards my ex. Should I say something to my ex or just clean up around my front door and say nothing? Help! Okay, Val. That's a doozy, right? Because I imagine those feelings they seem really strong. So I'm gonna say I'm a little bit twofold on this because low key I am a huge romantic and I get excited about the prospect of something like that working out, right? Like, what if you did, say something to your ex and then he was like, oh my gosh, it's the same for me. And then you guys, I don't know, divorced your spouses and got together. Like, that's terrible for the spouses, but that would be amazing for you in your life, right? Okay, so that said, this is actually real life and not my imagination. And it's not your imagination either. You are in what you refer to as a happy marriage that has some challenges. There is not a marriage on this planet that doesn't have some challenges. You can continue to work through your challenges with your husband. And should you find that you're not getting where you need to be with him, your decision about your life and your future needs to be independent of your ex. From your from your letter, it doesn't seem like your ex is flirting with you. He hasn't shared anything negative about his own situation. And while I may have that hopeless romantic aspect of my imagination, I don't believe in home wrecking. And I don't know if it would be possible, but you would either, if you were to share with him your feelings or pursue something with him, you would be wrecking either his or your home. I believe in love a great deal. And I am still very close with my first love. We got together at 14. I guess very close is a little bit strong. We're close. It feels very close because that's home for me. And I know it's the same for him, but I got married first. I'm no longer married. He got married second, and I was still annoyed that he married somebody who wasn't me, even though I was married, right? Like, that's completely unreasonable and like, whatever, but we have those feelings. If your ex is really the solid friend that you say he is, then keep him as that, and that you have access to him if you need that version of friendship that doesn't cross any lines and your husband is okay with that friendship, then hold on to that and nurture your marriage. It is important that you continue to work through the challenges, because your husband is, like, you haven't given me any idea that your husband is a bad person, that you're unhappy with your husband. You don't sound like that. It just sounds like you have these feelings. And maybe the best thing is to, like, not be in touch with your ex for a while, right? And, like, continue to work. And then when you feel more stable and solid again, because it sounds like there was a gap between, you looking to your ex for advice or whatever. Stay in control. Like, only you can control this. And if your marriage reaches a point where you don't think you can go on, that even still doesn't mean that you should pursue your ex, because he appears to be happy in his marriage. And ultimately, you could end up with neither him nor your husband. So you want to be smart about how you navigate these feelings. We can't always control our feelings, but we can control our actions. And it's important that you do that. I don't know if you have children or whatever, but if you've built some sort of life that you value, then you should treat it like it's something that you value. And should you and your husband need to part ways, it'll be out of respect for each other's needs, and not because you're trying to get to something that you think is better. Because ultimately you don't really know if it's better. No clue why you and your ex didn't work out, but he found someone that he thought was worth marrying, and hopefully he values his situation as well. And that's what you want. Because also consider this: if you do try and approach your ex about how you're feeling, and he starts to stray for the sake of that, on the one hand, again, my little imaginary hopeless romantic is like, oh, so cool. But on the other hand, that's not the type of person you want, right? Like, you want somebody who respects the circumstances and the situation that they're in. And if it comes to a point where it needs to be dissolved, that they handle that respectfully and with care and love. His wife doesn't deserve to be just dropped for his ex, and, like, your husband doesn't deserve that. Theoretically, maybe, I don't know what people deserve. Deserve is always a tough word for me. But I really think that in terms of cleaning up around your front door, that's your first step. And if you are happy in your marriage and it's just rough patches, then, that's part of the game, right? Like, you can get through those rough patches if you want to. And I don't have any indication from your letter that your circumstance is something you need to be running from. So ultimately, maybe just, don't reach out for a minute. Keep working on what you have. Make it the best that you can. And hopefully it'll work out and you can maintain your friendship without sliding back into these feelings. I'll be around for as long as I can foresee. So I would love to hear any updates you may have to your situation. And always communicate with love and respect, especially with your husband. Thanks so much for writing, Val. I really appreciate it, and I hope that my babbling was helpful. So this is a long one. I'm gonna, do the thing in the thing. Subscribe if you haven't. Send me more letters. It's really exciting. Every time I see that number go up, I'm just like buzzing. And that's probably why it feels so long to me between letters too. So this has been AuntieLan. You can subscribe to my YouTube, like my Facebook page, which is Ask AuntieLan. And I just built an Instagram, but I don't know what to do with that yet. So bear with me while I learn how to do all this stuff to hopefully help people with their stuff and things. Have a great day. I'm ending this video now.